I'm Cillian Murphy, and I'm an actor, I suppose. Grew up in Cork. My parents are teachers, pretty average, middle-class upbringing, you know.
Cillian, I've also heard you say that one of your happiest places is on set when you hear the word action.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, if I'm in the film, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hiding watching. Otherwise, it's just awkward for everyone involved.
Isn't that Cillian Murphy?
Yeah,
what's he doing? He's just watching.
He'll leave
He's
soon.
happy now.
Yeah, well, it is. It's that thing of where, you know, that's the kind of the moment you've been looking forward to and building up towards, and it is true to say that time kind of slows down and you stop sensing things in a kind of a normal way, and yeah, I love it. I mean, it's my favorite part of the whole thing, and it's the thing you kind of live for, really.
I mean, I love watching comedies or whatever, but the films that I really, the ones that are close to my heart, I guess, are the dramatic ones, you know, and the pieces of, generally not just films, like pieces of art and literature and everything, they tend to be the ones, I think, where the stakes are raised. And to me, that is drama.
Yeah.
The greater the stakes, the greater the drama.
Completely.
And that, to me, is more compelling to watch. And that's, I guess, the sort of material that I'm drawn to. When the real drama kicks in, when the stakes are raised, which to me, you know, that is real drama, when the stakes become about kind of life and death. You're fully invested in these characters. As actors, you get attracted to stories that are kind of, it's a David and Goliath kind of story.
I love all the big, I relish those big scenes, those confrontational scenes. They're very, very satisfying for an actor when you get that caliber of actor acting opposite, you know. So there's nothing that, you always go home for work going, wow, I went to work today, you know. It's a little bit special when it kicks off, and it's kind of unpredictable, which I like as well, you know.
And as a director, the most precious thing you've got to work with each day is the actor's instinct.
You don't have the script as your document. You're just you're reacting as it happens, you know, on film.
I've received orders to execute the spies.
Not Chris as well. Ah, Jesus Christ, lads. He's only a young fella, like.
Hamilton's a civilian. You could order him to leave the country.
He cost us 3 lives already. Could have been more. It was his own choice.
Ah, but Chris, we can't do that. He's one of our own.
Can go. He's a traitor.
He does things so cleverly and so subtly and so sort of unexpectedly, but for people who've seen the film, I have to shoot this kid in it who becomes a traitor in the film. And only like years later, I realized that during the boot camp and during all the sort of training, he would always put me with this kid, like that we would be together and we would sort of, you know, just hang out. And he was like 17 or something like that. And he was a lovely, sweet kid. And we hung out and we got close. And then I realized that what he was subtly doing was sort of making, I don't know, I was becoming close to this kid who eventually, in this story, you know, I'd have to shoot. And so when we came to do that scene, it was way more emotional and powerful than it would ever have been on like, oh, we're just doing it today, because, you know, you've seen that, you've read that scene, and hi, nice to meet you, and now I'm going to shoot you. It was, we were buddies, you know, and I had this sort of older brother type thing that Ken, in his wonderful way, had sort of provoked, you know, to be broken. You know, because you're shooting chronologically and because you're finding out the information as the character does, you become aware that perhaps there's something happening here. But again, it's not an intellectual thing; it's an emotional thing. So I guess that we were all aware that, okay, there's someone has betrayed us in the column, and we're all hoping against hope that it wasn't this kid, and then begins to sort of, the inevitability of it becomes clear.
It'll be from there round to the fruit.
It's the purest environment you could ever have. That's what all this, you know, very, very precise preparation and precise casting and is all to achieve this truth, I guess. It fundamentally changed how I approach acting. and it's never been the same since.
Well, I think you have to learn from each job you do as an actor. You're constantly learning. It's an ongoing learning process, really.
You know, there's no marks, so there's no action, there's no cut. It was like going on this adventure with all these people who we became very, very close to. We had gone on this journey, which felt to us as close as it could possibly be to reality. So it becomes all emotion and not intellect.
All right, it's all right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And then what's more of this?
So by the end, certainly for me, it didn't feel like I was performing. I was just kind of swept up in this world that we had created, that we were invested in, that felt completely authentic and real and truthful. And that was because Ken set it up that way.
What you want as an actor, or certainly what I want, is to work with people with strong visions, you know, and you can't find anybody with a stronger vision than Christopher Nolan, you know. I mean, he's written, produced and directed this, you know, thing, and it's kind of phenomenal. And you know, there is absolutely scope to collaborate, but you want to work with someone who is that.
They'll guide you.
Yeah, or just has. I mean, he knows exactly every frame of the film as he's shooting it, you know, which is so comforting. You know? Yeah. I think the reason people re-collaborate is because you build up a shorthand.
Sure.
You build up a level of trust, and you can go straight to the work. So hopefully there's that kind of simpatico between Chris and the people that he collaborates with, and it's as simple as that. Really. It's a real privilege to work with him every time. I mean, there's no argument that he's one of the greatest directors around at the moment. I think everyone accepts that. So, as an actor, selfishly, you want to work with the best people, and he's definitely one of those. But every relationship between a director and an actor should be collaborative. I mean, you know, they're the boss and they're the leader, but you know, it has to be an exchange of ideas always.
Can you detach enough that when you watch yourself, you're still really emotionally moved by what you see when you watch it back?
No. No, I don't know any actor that likes watching his or herself. It's always quite a sort of distressing experience. But what's good about this is that there's lots of stuff that, you know, we're not in, so it's great to watch Polly's storyline or Arthur's storyline that you're not necessarily part of, so you can sort of unclench for that period of...
Breathe. Take the paper bag away from your face before you reconnect.